it's Kristen Barton, Mingle TV's Red Carpet Report. Today we're in the Honor Awards at the Magic Castle, where we're going to talk to the stars of a new movie, Insidious. We've got Hershey and telling us what it's like to star in a movie all about the
All right, well, this has been quite a year for you with Black Swan and Insidious. I think it's nice to see contrasting roles back to back. Is that why you selected the two films?
Yes, I like contrast, and I like, as soon as I play one character, I love to play a different character, especially as contrasting the Black Swan character. But yeah, it was. I like to mix it up.
And I mean, what drew you towards Insidious? Because it's so interesting. After watching Black Swan, we're not always a sympathetic mother, and here you play, the grandmother who is very sympathetic, which I didn't necessarily think was going to happen. It was sort of like a little twist halfway through the movie.
Right. Well, she's very concerned, and she kind of has this secret that sort of unlocks Patrick Wilson's character and what happens with him. And I was really attracted to the cast, great cast, and the script, and I'd heard that James is wonderful, which he was, and so there was no reason not to do it.
It's fantastic. Now, I always think, as an actor, when you approach a script, you have to have some sort of sense of realism in the subject matter. In the paranormal, what are your thoughts on the whole thing?
I'm really interested in the paranormal. I've had a couple things happen to me, and I find it really fascinating. All it means, paranormal, is that it's not normal.
Right.
We don't have an explanation. So all of that really interests me. And this set was great because it was all happening on the set. It was all practical stuff. So we had real things to react to, and that was great.
I know. How do you react when something like super, super scary? I mean, does it scare you on set when you watch something? Because watching it as an audience goer, it's intense.
Yes.
Especially the music, too.
Yeah. Well, we don't have the benefit of all that. It's not as scary, but there were little intense moments, and you're trying, you're trying to get into it where it's really happening. So,
did you walk away with a little bit more, maybe? Okay, I believe in the paranormal, maybe just a little bit more after doing the film.
I've believed in it plenty before.
Yeah. No, you're no stranger to the paranormal. You've done The Entity, and my friend on Twitter said, please ask her, which one was scarier, The Entity or Insidious?
Well, The Entity it's so different, and The Entity, I was the lead in it, and so I had, I'd say that was more intense for me, for sure, because and we shot in order, which was amazing, so I had this whole experience, and it was really interesting.
Yeah, and I imagine when you're sort of the main focus of something like Paranormal Activity or anything else like that, that you really have to dig in on something like that.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
So what's next for you after, you've had such a great year, with the success of Black Swan and following it right up with Insidious.
I don't have a clue.
You don't?
I'm wide open. Wide open.
I thought we would be snatching you up right away. I thought your performance in Black Swan was just, it was amazing. And, I always just thought that what a great, showcase role, really.
Yeah, she was quite intense, wasn't she? She wasn't a happy puppy.
She wasn't, but you got it. You got it. I grew up in the ballet world myself, so I was there were lots of ballet mothers just like that.
Oh, I hope not.
Unfortunately, there are. So, do you think there's going to be a sequel for Insidious?
I hadn't
left it open, right?
It actually could. I didn't think about that, but you could have one.
Right.
But that's sort of we are ahead of ourselves.
I know, we have to look at box office and how the audiences react, but I hope so, because I think it really lends itself to a sequel.
Yeah, you're right. I think it could.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It was wonderful talking with you.
Be sure to check out Insidious. It opens April 1st at a theater near you. And remember, it's not the house that's haunted. I'm Kristen Burton, Mingle TV's Red Carpet Report. We'll see you next time.